Welcome back to Chaos Collectibles. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the latest custom figure that I just purchased. But there was some unfortunate events that happened during that transaction. So I ended up getting the Goul Hunter from Jevaho Creations. And when the box showed up, I just got back into town and the box was like, man, looked like it was stepped on and everything. Last time that happened, the figure ended up being in great shape, and the dude does pack stuff well, but you know, when it comes to certain things, I mean, you can only do so much. Some things are just out of your control. But before we get into that, I mean, the figure did have a broken leg. So it was broke right at the hip joint. So I ended up having to glue that bad boy. I reached out to him. He said he'll make it right with me on the next figure that I get from him. So that's pretty cool. So I'm sure he'll probably discount it or something. But I ended up getting the Goul Hunter. So let's take a look at the Goul Hunter. Very cool freaking figure. This bad boy is glow in the dark. All of the green and light green, along with the shield, all glow in the freaking dark. Very cool freaking figure. Handmade cape. Now his figures are all hand freaking made. So he casts everything out of resin. So, I mean, take that into consideration, and it gives you a different appreciation for this type of freaking work, right? So this thing is really freaking cool. I was kind of on the fence for it for a little while, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to pull the trigger on this thing. He did end up making another one with 4 arms earlier this year of this same. It had the same head and stuff. Very cool. Again, I was on the fence about that one for a while, and someone ended up buying it. Now, this is a one-of-a-kind freaking piece. But yes, this leg right here was broke. So I reached out to him. I let him know. And I ended up super gluing it. It was kind of a pain at first because I wanted to make sure this guy was going to stand and be kind of square. And I didn't want his hip to be jacked up with the leg over to the side. So it took a little finessing for me to get that right and some real patience. But he stands fine. Everything looks good. Now the waist on this guy is a little loose. The torso is. I've never had that happen with any of his figures in the past, but you can kind of see how this thing kind of wobbles a little bit and it moves. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's just the way it fit when he casted it or something. But I mean, I really can't complain about this guy. Looks freaking cool. In fact, that head is one of the characters from the Toxic Avengers. It's the bad guy. I forget his name. Kill Him Off, I think. I think his last name is Kill Him Off. And then, of course, we have the Olmec torso, which he normally uses for these. Remco legs is pretty common, but he does have that Remco frickin' waist. Not the Zolo waist, the Remco waist, along with some arms that were casted after Mammoth Faces, along with a casted trap jaw armor piece. And this thing, it feels almost like foam. So I don't know. It's like, maybe it's just me and the texture of it or something, but it's cool. I mean, it turned out very well, and that freaking shield right there is freaking killer, and the gun is awesome. So yeah, very cool freaking figure, and this gave me some ideas for some customizations. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go in that route or not, but you know, I got some of these futuristic cyborg type, you know, things that I work on here and there, not too often. Seems to be the wintertime project for me. This last winter, I ended up doing a couple. And then this winter, I did one so far. Not winter yet, it's fall, but it's getting cold. But this reminds me kind of like, you know, he's got the gun. Still has that warrior vibe to him. Kind of in between a futuristic and barbaric type of character. Almost like a steampunk. Yeah, steampunk type of freaking figure. Here's what it kind of reminds me of, the way that gun's done up and stuff. So very cool, kind of like how that's been finished, but this dude does fantastic work. He does got another one I was kind of looking at, but again, I've been on the fence for that one for a few months. It's pretty cool the way it looks, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because these figures are not cheap. But I am waiting on one more that I got, I want to say before this one. And again, that one's coming from Belgium too, but I'm just going to throw it out there. This one's done by Frankenlander Frankenlander, I don't even own any of his pieces, but this guy casts his own stuff. They do collabs sometimes. But yeah, I want to say Frankenlander is probably, as far as actual customs go and making, he's top notch. He's, in my opinion, number one. This guy comes in close number two when it comes to the casting stuff. I mean, this dude makes some pretty incredible stuff here. I'm very happy to have this guy. Pretty freaking awesome. And now I'm just getting to the point where I'm rambling. But I'm hoping to get that Frankenlander, because that one shipped like a day or two after this one did. So I'm hoping to get that one any day now. Hopefully within the next week or two or something like that, I'll get that bad boy in. So, yeah, as far as customizing goes, I really haven't had the time to work on anything. I got that dog from Oliver, and I'm thinking about painting that bad boy up maybe today or tomorrow. I got it primed. I did put a base coat on it, and that's about as far as I've gotten with it. I also have that punch out too. That one's been primed, started a base coat. It needs to be painted black again. And then of course I got this Medusa down here. I think you guys saw that here when I did the last video showing off the 5.5 figure setup. But yeah, there you have it, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you all have an awesome day. Until next time. Woo!